My name is Ravi Makhija, and I'm actually the director of Tie-Ups International. Tie-Ups International is an initiative, it's a private initiative which was established in the year 2015. And the objective are two simple objectives. First is we wanted to build brand India in the field of education. And second thing is we wanted to promote or we wanted to enhance education links between Indian universities and Indonesian universities. If I look at Indonesia as a country, world's fourth populous country, having 260 million people, and culturally India and Indonesia are very, very similar. When it comes to Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bollywood, believe me, we don't need to introduce to them. In fact, they have better knowledge than us. Also, they have a tabloid where everyone knows how many, who's having an affair with which Bollywood star, how many kids they have. And whenever I sit in a cab and, of course, having an Indian face, they ask me that, you Indian? I say, yes, I'm an Indian. And they start talking about Bollywood. They start telling a lot of information which I don't know about it. So I can tell you, I get updated from them. So that's how close India and Indonesia are there. And of course, what we do is, as I mentioned to you, we are building the brand India. The reason why we are doing this is because we strongly believe culture and education go hand in hand. And when culture is already there, that means education also should be there. So, and of course, when we when we see that every country in this world is there in Indonesia because it's a huge market. But what happens is that India has ignored Indonesia for some reason. And because of the cultural similarities, and as I mentioned, culture and education go hand in hand, India has never looked into that part. So that's why we came up with an initiative with the Embassy of India in 2015, where they were coming up with something called as the Sahabat India, where they were trying to promote the culture. And we just proposed to the ambassador, His Excellency Gurjit Singh, who was the previous ambassador. And what we mentioned to him that, sir, why don't you even try to promote education, because culture and education go hand in hand. He liked the idea, and there came up the Incredible India Education Fair, which for the first time ever was organized. The Indian universities who came over there, I can tell you, is that they were very skeptical to come to Indonesia because they feel, again, they have some stereotypes about Indonesia, that Indonesia is a poor country, Indonesia is full of tsunamis, having earthquakes, a lot of negative things. And I think Indonesians, what they think about India is that India is a poor country, dirty country, and unsafe. So there are a lot of mis-stereotypes. So, but when the Indian universities came over there, they saw the country, beautiful country, having an Arjuna Rath right in the center of the city. Being a Muslim populated country, I can tell you they could see Ganesha, Ganesha symbols. They could see the Nandi. They could see Shiva. They could also see Arjun Rath, as I mentioned to you earlier. And also, that is one country which I think everyone should know, that in their currency they have a Ganesha symbol, which we Indians, right, I can tell you, we have only been, I think we have limited ourselves only to Gandhiji, but we have never had Lord Ganesha, whom I think for every occasion we use it, as we start every occasion of ours with Ganeshji. But being that, I would say Indonesia had Ganeshji in their currency. So I guess that's where the similarities are there. So we took up this initiative. They came over there. They were very happy with it. And then we took this initiative forward because very positive feedback came from the Indian universities. And that's how we carried on the Incredible India Education Fair, which we have been doing since 2015, which we did it in Jakarta. 2016, we had it in Jakarta. 2017, we had it in Yogyakarta and Bali. And earlier this year, we had it in Jakarta and Medan. So what we are trying to do is we want the true picture of India to be revealed. That India has a lot of good things happening out here. Unfortunately, if you really look at the media, and I would not blame the Indonesians this, because our media only talks negative things. There's nothing positive over here. And today I should say that I'm in this ASMA event, in the ASMA Awards, ASMA Awards event today here in Bangalore, in Leela Palace. And I can just tell you today, there were only positive things. So I think if this can be carried out by the media, even 1%, I think a huge, huge change will be done.
Well, absolutely. That's the idea, sir. And thank you so much for sharing the insight about the whole thing. Well, moving on, since you spoke about international relationship, how important is it for it to grow in the Indian academia in terms of connection with Indian academics and Indonesia together? Well, obviously, it's a factor of growth. But how can we, leverage it, is the question.
See, since the cultures are similar, I think integration is not difficult at all. And of course, every institution now, if you see the word internationalization, is just not from recruitment of recruiting students, but I would also say that collaborations between institutions is becoming a very important role. I think every institution today, they would like to have more MOUs, but making sure that the MOUs are working MOUs. So I think faculty exchange, student exchange, dual degree program, joint degree program, joint research, joint seminars, credit transfer program. There are so many areas which I think there are good things between India and Indonesia. And having said that, if I may just share, is that just to keep this collaboration between India and Indonesian institutions, starting last year, we have had few delegations represented by the Indonesian vice chancellors who have come to India. Of course, they're very skeptical to come to India because media plays its role. But then to overcome that, what we do is we ask them to start coming to India. And when they came to India, I can tell you there's not one person, and I can tell you there was not one person who could say, oh my God, I think I have to go back. They loved the country. They said such beautiful things, such wonderful things, such incredible things are happening here. Why is the media only talking the negative thing? And this is where, we feel more motivated, we feel more inspired, and we feel that what we are doing is still just the beginning. There's a long, long way to go. So I guess, with ASMA event, with all the initiatives what you'll have, and of course now with the ASMA TV, and there are so many other things coming up, I guess it's the right time to move forward. And I think we should really believe in the Indonesian, in the Indian education system, because let's face it, the first university of the world comes from India and not from any other country.
Absolutely true. Well, I second you in every word, and it is important that we portray, first of all, the country's image in the correct way, and secondly, not only increase the knowledge sharing quotient, but also increase the culture sharing, which is already being shared. It's just a bridge which needs to be gapped. So, how do you think social media will help, or rather, how Indians in the higher education can adopt technologies and bridge the gap?
I think India is already known for IT. I mean, India has already, they have made a name for themselves for IT. So I guess, for them to use the technology would not be a difficult part. But what we have seen is that Indian universities have really not used the technology much when it comes for academia. And I think that's what the initiative of ASMA plays a very important role, to make sure that the academia starts using this. Because when you talk about academia and you're talking about social media, I think you're looking at from the perspectives of the students, you're talking from the perspective of the lecturers, from the management, from different perspectives. And there's a huge things which can take place. So I think we are still in the nascent stage in the implementation part, though it will be wrong for me to say that there are some institutions who are already doing it. But I guess what they're doing today is they're just trying to do some posts, and they feel that they're present on the social media, or they are probably doing some, I would say, some ad campaigns they're running out, and they feel that they are on the social media. But I guess with the activities what I've seen of FMA Digital and also with ASMA, I think analysis of the social media plays a very important role, because when you do marketing, you do it for a particular region. Now, unfortunately, in social media, your region is huge. I mean, you're selecting your region. You're being very specific, because as it was discussed in one of the panel discussions, is where you can select the region, you can select the location, the population. You can be very, very specific. So I guess with those kind of things, analysis plays a very important role. And I would suggest that it should be given to the experts rather than just, Indian institutions. What they do is they try to do everything themselves, which I would say, if they have the right skill sets, why not? But otherwise, I think they should give it to institutions like FMA Digital, where they have the skill, they have the the caliber, they have the right people, they have a dedicated team. So I think that's what probably they should be doing it, so that it becomes more effective, and you can have a positive outcome from that.
Well, truly would want to say that we'll make all our possible efforts to reach the expectations that you have for us.
Thank you. And just to say one more thing, is just because of all these great things which is happening, ASMA ASMA event would be carried or would be taken to Indonesia. It's going to happen in March 2019. I can say it's official. It's going to happen, and and we are really very happy to be associated with ASMA, and that helps us in building the brand in India. Because what you all are doing here is you all are trying to improve the image, you're trying to improve the brand, and I think that will be a great platform for us to work together, and then that's the reason we are partnering with ASMA, and we are bringing ASMA to Indonesia in March 2019.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that wonderful insight. And we would be more than happy to make sure that we come to Indonesia, create a better impact, create value for not only India but for Indonesia as well, and create a new era of joining hands between two countries. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, sir. Hope to see you and hear from you on the ASMA TV.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here. Thank you.